Nobody tells you this part. The first $1,000 you make online is the hardest money you will ever earn. Not because the work is hard, because almost everything you'll try before you find the thing that works will feel like proof that it's impossible. And the strange part, once you get past that first $1,000, the next $10,000 comes faster than you'd think. This isn't a video about get-rich-quick schemes. It's about the actual mechanics of how money moves online. Who gets it, who doesn't, and why. The difference has almost nothing to do with hustle. Here's what usually happens. Someone sees a video, a guy in front of a rented Lamborghini, or a woman showing a screenshot of a bank transfer. They say the same thing every time. This one method changed everything. So you try it. Dropshipping, print on demand, affiliate marketing, maybe a course that promised to teach you the algorithm. You follow the steps, you post consistently, and months later, you're staring at a number that hasn't moved. Here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not that these methods are all fake. Some of them are real. The problem is, nobody explains the actual mechanism underneath them, so you're following instructions without understanding why they'd ever work. And when something breaks, you have no idea how to fix it. Would you keep going if you didn't even know why it was supposed to work in the first place? Josh was 24, working a warehouse job in Ohio, making about $19 an hour. He found a course online, $2,000, promising a proven drop shipping system. The sales page had testimonials, screenshots of 5-figure months. He put it on a credit card. For 3 months, he built a store. He ran ads. He watched his ad account burn through $1,400 with almost nothing coming back. Here's what he didn't know, and what the course never explained. The system wasn't the product. The system was the ad spend and audience targeting. And by the time Josh entered the market, the exact niche the course was teaching had already been flooded by thousands of other students from the same course. He wasn't competing against strangers. He was competing against everyone who bought the same course he did. That's not a hustle problem. That's a math problem nobody warned him about. Here's the pattern almost nobody points out. The methods that get marketed the hardest online, dropshipping, crypto trading signals, AI side hustles, are marketed hardest because they're easiest to sell as a course, not because they're the easiest to succeed at. The guru's real business isn't the method, it's selling you access to the method. That's not a conspiracy, it's just an incentive. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So if the loudest methods are often the least reliable, what actually works? The real answer is almost boring. It's selling a skill, a service, or a product to people who already have a specific problem, not chasing a trend that a million other people just discovered on the same day you did. Jenny was a preschool teacher in Texas, making about $38,000 a year. She didn't start with a course. She started by noticing that other teachers kept asking her for help organizing classroom activities. She was just good at it, so she made a simple digital printable, a set of lesson planning templates, and sold it for $7 on a marketplace built for teachers. Her first month, 4 sales, $28. Not exactly a business. But she kept making more templates based on what teachers actually asked for. 8 months later, she had 30 products, and her printable were making around $1,200 a month on the side, without ads, without a course, without a Lamborghini in the background. Would you have kept going after a $28 first month? Most people wouldn't. That's exactly why most people never get to month 8. Strip away the branding, the platforms, the trends, and almost every real way to make money online falls into exactly 3 categories. First, selling a skill directly, as a service. Freelance writing, editing, video, building websites, virtual assistant work. You're paid for time and expertise, and you can start almost immediately because someone already needs it done today. Second, selling a product, physical or digital, built around a specific problem, like Jenny's printable. This is slower to start, but can scale without trading more hours for more money. Third, building an audience and monetizing attention. Content creation, essentially. This is the slowest of the three and the most publicly visible, which is exactly why it looks like the whole game, even though it's usually the hardest entry point. Here's the part that matters. Dropshipping, crypto signals, and most AI hustle content don't cleanly fit any of these three. They're usually a mix of Category 2 and pure luck in a saturated market, which is why they're the most heavily marketed and the least reliable. Here's where the numbers get strange. In every one of these three categories, income doesn't move in a straight line. It moves almost flat for a while, and then it bends upward, sometimes suddenly. A freelancer's first 10 clients might come from posting in 20 different places with almost no replies. Then, around client 11 or 12, referrals start happening on their own. A product seller's first 30 sales might take 6 months. The next 30 might take 3 weeks, because the algorithm and the reviews start working for them instead of against them. This is why the first $1,000 is the hardest money you'll ever make. It's not a payment for effort, it's a payment for trust. Trust built through reviews, referrals, or a track record. And trust doesn't compound until you've put in enough of it to cross a threshold. Most people quit in the flat part, right before the bend. Would you have stopped at client 10 if you knew client 11 changed everything? Remember Mike from earlier? The one who finally got his raise and still felt broke? His story connects here more than it seems. Mike didn't try to make money online by chasing a trend. He was a warehouse supervisor who started doing freelance inventory system consulting for small businesses on the side, 2 hours a night for almost no pay at first. For 4 months, barely anything happened. Then, one client referred him to another. Then, that client referred him to a distributor. 18 months later, his side income had quietly passed his full-time salary. He didn't have a viral video. He didn't have a course. He had 11 boring months most people would have quit during. And then, a bend in the curve that changed the entire trajectory. Is $100,000 a year still a meaningful goal if it takes almost 2 years of unglamorous work to get there? That's worth sitting with. So here's the actual answer to the title of this video. There is no one method that actually makes online money. Not dropshipping, not content, not freelancing on its own. What actually makes money online is picking one of the 3 real categories. Choosing something specific enough that people already need it today, and staying past the flat part long enough for trust to compound. Josh didn't fail because dropshipping is fake. He failed because he skipped straight to competing in a saturated market with no track record and no differentiation. Jenny and Mike didn't succeed because they found a secret. They succeeded because they kept going through months that looked like nothing was happening, until quietly something was. The first $1,000 really is the hardest money you'll ever make, but it's not a wall, it's a threshold. So here's the honest question. If you already know which of the 3 categories fits your actual skills right now, which one is it? And what stopped you from starting this week? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one. And next week, I'm picking 3 of you to build a full 90-day plan for. Live right here on the channel. If this actually helped you see the real picture, subscribe, because the next video breaks down exactly how to land your first paying client in 7 days, even if you're starting from 0.